I never realized when I entered corporate America that it would recreate every trigger, every fear, and every nightmare I had been healing from my whole entire life. Because the truth is, I never felt safe as a child. I was screamed at on the way to school every single morning. My mother beat me so bad that I couldn't go to summer camp because the belt left deep indentations across my back. I was beaten up by my siblings and locked in a closet for hours on end. I didn't think I'd survive it. I remember one June morning running down the street in nothing but basketball shorts and a blue sports bra, sobbing, clutching and holding on to my phone, calling my father because my mother had just attacked me. I thought it couldn't get any worse than this. And then I saw my uncle turn the corner. He tried to grab me. He sprinted at me. He tried to kidnap me. I was fighting him off, still screaming into the receiver for my dad to save me. But in that moment, I didn't see the other side. I didn't think that I'd make it out. Those moments planted something deep inside me, a mission, a deep ache, a desperate need to want to help others because I knew that I was not the only one. So many of us grow up in homes where love is confused with control, where safety is ripped away before we even know what safety feels like. And without realizing it, we carry those wounds forward. The cycle doesn't stop with childhood. It loops as we grow. It shows up in romantic relationships, in friendships, in workplaces. Until we learn to name it, it follows us everywhere. And that's what happened to me. When I was 29, I had a pretty rough year with a lot of medical emergencies that resulted in 5 different brain surgeries. And I remember standing in my manager's office, shaky voice, having a conversation with her, trying to get her to understand that I needed to take off more time due to needing to have 2 more brain surgeries. And instead of getting met with that empathy and support that I was looking for, I was met with coldness and that rejection, begging them to see that I'm not just an employee. I'm a human being in pain. I'm carrying medical trauma, exhaustion, things you can't see on paper. And in that moment, I was begging the same way I once begged my mother, please see me. Please understand. Please tell me that I matter. But the response was the same: silence, indifference, eyes that looked right through me. Different setting, same wound. That's retraumatization. That's what it looks like. It kind of feels like you are stuck in the mud and you just can't wait for the opportunity to climb the reed or rock out of the muddy water. Sort of like the dragonfly. Did you know that the dragonfly spends most of its life underwater? 2 to 5 years transforming. Dragonflies are ancient creatures. They're older than dinosaurs, and they spend most of their lives underwater as nymphs, trapped in the mud, fighting unseen circumstances. And from the surface, it looks like nothing is happening. But in the muddy silence, they are preparing, transforming. And then one day, they break through the surface, they climb out of the water, they spread their wings, wings no one imagined were waiting there, and they fly, free, radiant, unstoppable. That's what healing feels like. That's what transformation is. The places that were meant to drown us become the very waters we rise out of. The mud isn't the end of our story, it's the birthplace of our wings. When we are adults, the environments around us don't owe us anything. We get less support in our adulthood than we do in our childhood. We have to look internally, and this work belongs to us. Here are 3 steps to the path of healing. 1, self-awareness. Naming the patterns, seeing the cycle for what it is, recognizing when we are underwater, when we are in the mud, and when we are beginning to rise, because you can't change what you can't see. 2, self-care. Building safety within ourselves, learning that we no longer have to beg for air. We can breathe on our own. We can set boundaries. We can rest. We can tend to the wounds that no one else ever cared for. And 3, self-love. Choosing to trust our own reflection, choosing to believe that our voice matters, our intuition is holy, and our story is worth listening to. This is where our wings unfold. This is where we take flight. And if you are a leader or a manager and you want to get more out of your employees and see people with empathy, less turnover, and employee retention, here's what you can do. 1, lead with active listening. Create intentional spaces where employees feel heard and valued. Don't just wait for performance reviews. Schedule regular check-ins that focus not only on tasks, but also on well-being. 2, build psychological safety. Set the tone that mistakes are opportunities to learn from, not punishments of fear. Encourage questions, feedback, and even constructive disagreement without judgment. 3, personalized support and growth. Empathy in action means recognizing that each employee has different needs, goals, and challenges. Tailor development plans, offer flexibility when possible, and acknowledge their life outside of work. Those are just a few steps to go through that I take leaders through in my corporate workshops. And here's the most important part. This isn't just my story. Because when we talk about the Dragonfly, we talk about us. We are the children who grew up underwater. We are the employees begging to be seen. We are the ones who know what it feels like to be drowning in silence. But we are also the ones who can rise, who can break through, who can fly. So here's my invitation. What if we stopped waiting for permission? What if we stopped begging to be seen and started seeing ourselves? What if we trusted our own reflection enough to know we are already worthy? The dragonfly doesn't forget the water it came from, and neither do we. But we don't stand here as the children choking on the silence or as the employees suffocating in a leader's indifference. We stand here as the ones who rose, who broke through, who learned to fly. And when empathy takes flight, not just in our lives, but in our workplaces, we all rise together.